Okay. So, yes, why supplements are no longer optional. So, this is a presentation about the truth about toxins, soil depletion, and restoring the nutrients your body was designed for. So, to begin this presentation, we are going to go into how the environment has changed. So, today we face more toxin stress and nutrient loss than any generation before us. And this is why. So, soil depletion, problem number one. 80 to 90% mineral loss in many of the US soils. Industrial farming removes nutrients but doesn't replace them. Modern produce contains far fewer vitamins and minerals than food 50 to 100 years ago. So even healthy food is less dense nutrient or nutrient dense. So the carrots that, people were eating 50 to 100 years ago are not the same carrots that we're eating today.
Yeah, and what does that mean, right? So they're not the same carrots. So what does that mean to us?
Well, we'll find out in a little.
Oh, sorry. Golly, of course we will. Go ahead.
But it just basically means like we're eating a less nutrient dense carrot than the carrots before. Okay, so why is this? So there's a couple reasons, but the first one is nutrient removal through specific practices. So monocropping is where people plant the same crop year after year, and this will exhaust the soil of the specific nutrients that the crop requires. And then erosion, so practices like tilling and leaving fields bare, makes the soil vulnerable to being washed or blown away, taking the essential nutrients with it. And then heavy machinery compacts the soil, which restricts root growth and prevents water and nutrients from reaching plant roots effectively. So kind of overcropping these crops, planting things, the same thing over time, and the heavy machinery is causing the soils to lose nutrients. That's the first reason.
Right. And think about this, right? They're using every single square foot of soil that they can. So they're cramming everything they can, like of the crop in there to try and get as maximum yield as possible to make maximum
bank
money. Yep. Yep.
Yep. So I have just a couple of quotes or sentences from the United States Senate document. So this was written in, I believe, like 1936, which is, 90 years ago. And so it says the leading authorities of the day had been sounding the alarm that depleted soils were causing a significant decline in the nation's health, evidenced by a steady increase in degenerate diseases. But when Congress saw the price tag on repairing the nation's farm and range soils, they swept their own investigation under the carpet. And then here's just a quote: soils seriously deficient in minerals cannot produce plant life competent to maintain our needs. And with the continuous cropping and chipping away of those concentrates, the condition becomes worse. So this document, like I said, was written, or this happened, almost 100 years ago, where they realized that this was happening. And then 100 years later, you can only imagine. So
yeah, it's gotten better, right, Karissa? It's gotten only better.
It's gotten only better, right? Yeah. Yeah. So this has been known for a while, right?
So the idea then behind that, I don't know what the next slide is, but the idea behind that is one apple now, back then, is like eating a bushel of apples now to get the same amount of nutrient density in the human body at one point. And your stomach is not large enough to actually ingest all of those apples just to get the nutrients you need.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah. Okay, so then, chemical use. So synthetic fertilizers, they do provide some nutrients, but they can alter the soil's natural microbial community and lead to soil acidification and salt buildup over time, which is harmful in the long run. They're also energy intensive to produce. And then there's pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. These chemicals can harm beneficial microbes that help make nutrients available to plants.
Wait a minute. Well, if it harms the microbiome, what does that do to my microbiome and my gut?
Harms your microbiome.
Oh, hmm.
Yeah.
Probably not a
And
good idea.
so, like you were saying before, with if they're going to use, every square inch of this crop, well, they also have to make sure that it's going to
Yeah, thrive.
thrive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
Maximum yield. Yeah,
right. So they're just doing other things to help that, but they end up kind of like not maintaining the integrity of the nutrients in the plant
right,
and the soil.
right. Yeah, if it can destroy the gut microbiome, or it can destroy the gut microbiome of an insect or a pest, guess what it's doing to your gut microbiome when
Yeah.
you eat the food?
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is just, why does this matter, which we've kind of already been talking about, but
This is a cool slide, by the way.
thank
I
you.
went over this. Yeah, this is a really cool slide. Go ahead. Sorry.
So plants, so like you well, kind of like you were saying, but plants only contain the minerals that exist in the soil. So if it doesn't exist in the soil, it then doesn't exist in the plant, and then it doesn't exist in our bodies. So no minerals in soil, no minerals in food equals no minerals in you. Your cells cannot function properly without these building blocks. So these are all of the macro minerals, trace minerals, and essential vitamins that your body needs every single day. So, macro minerals, you need larger amounts. So, calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, phosphorus, chloride, sulfur. Trace minerals, you need smaller amounts. So, iron, zinc, copper, iodine, selenium, manganese, molybdenum, chromium, and then fluoride, but it's a trace amount. Um, and then the essential vitamins. So, A, D, E, K, C, and all of the B vitamins. So we need a lot. We need a lot of vitamins to thrive. Vitamins
Yeah.
and minerals.
And they work so well together. Remember that. That's the kind of the key, right? You have to have the minerals to help the vitamins. You have to have the vitamins to help the minerals,
Right.
and they just work synergistically together. If things are missing, things don't work like a key. If you put that key in the door and it's got a different, like a different tooth mark or something like that, can you open that door? No, it has to actually line up. And this is where those are like the keys to allow the chemical reactions to work in our body. So,
Mhm.
so important. It's a cool slide.
All right. So the next issue that we face are environmental toxins. So, like we kind of talked about before, pesticides and herbicides. We have air pollution, heavy metals, microplastics, water contaminants, indoor toxins, cleaners, fragrances, plastics. So these toxins increase nutrient demand and weaken detox pathways. So now we're not only getting less nutrient dense food, but we live in an environment that creates a bigger nutrient demand.
Yeah, but don't worry about the World Health Organization's fixing all that. Don't worry about that. We got it. They're on this.
What are they doing?
Oh, well, we'll talk about that in another one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, of course, they're creating new. You ready for this? Back up real quick. They are in the midst of creating new vaccines
Mm.
for air pollution, chemical toxins, water contaminants. I mean, they're like, it's just, it doesn't make sense. Why don't we, instead of putting more chemicals into the water that is chemically toxic to the fish, why don't we take the fish up and put it in a healthier water, a healthier bowl, and then clean out that bowl of all the toxins that we've put into it?
Right. Instead of just zap the bowl.
Yeah, keep putting more toxins in there, and that fish, we'll see if it lives through that process.
Yeah.
It is anyway. Yeah, I brought that up. There's more to this, but we'll go ahead and keep going. That'll be a different presentation, probably.
Yeah. Okay, so what toxins do to the body? Damage mitochondria, increase inflammation, deplete minerals, burden the liver, impair the nervous system function. And like I said before, now your body needs extra nutrients just to keep up, because now they not only have less nutrients, they now have more toxins in the body. They need more nutrients to detox the body. So it's like we're dealing with a lot right now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, processed food. So refined sugar, chemical additives, low fiber, low nutrients. These foods steal nutrients required for detox and repair. And then, um, not what just add more toxins into the body.
Right. They don't help. Yeah.
Yeah. And then chronic stress, which we've talked about before. So stress burns through B vitamins, magnesium, vitamin C, minerals, and then you add in lack of sleep, poor rhythms, you have a large nutrient drain. So toxic environment, chronic stress, low nutrients in the foods. Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So this creates a huge nutrition gap. Like I keep saying, fewer nutrients, environment demands more nutrients, and our bodies can't function without them. So this creates a big gap where supplements come in. So why whole food supplements are preferred over synthetic supplements. So whole food supplements come from mineral rich soil. They contain the cofactors like you were talking about for absorption so that all these things work the way they're supposed to, and they work with the body's natural pathways. So a lot these supplements are they have the nutrients, all the vitamins and the minerals. They're just created in a different rich soil. Like they're made sure that they're in a good environment. And the difference between that and synthetic isolates are that some of these lack cofactors, they're harder on the livers and kidneys, and they don't communicate with the body the same way.
Yeah, and and the most of the tests that they've ran to find out if vitamins are working is on synthetic vitamins. And so that's why they go, wow, they really don't seem like they're working. They're not testing these whole food, nutrient dense vitamins. They're checking with, Centrum or whatever, right? That actually can kind of rot in the system and never really even get absorbed. So,
Yeah. So the role of whole food nutrition: restore mineral levels, rebuild the gut, support detox and strengthen cellular health, and improve stress resilience and enhance immune function. So all the things that we need if we were to be eating food that was in mineral rich soil. So your body is still designed to heal. So even in a toxic world, your body's adaptive, resilient, intelligent. So supporting it gives it the fuel it needs to repair and thrive. So this is good news, right? Like we have a solution for the environment that we live in, and that is supplementation.
yeah, yeah. And I'm going to just say something real quick about like what Royal Lee, back in 1951. I'm going to give you a little quick quote. He said, one of the biggest tragedies of human civilization is the increase of chemical therapy over nutrition.
Mm.
It's the substitution of artificial therapy over natural, of poisons over food, in which we are feeding people poisons trying to correct the reactions of starvation.
Mm.
It's kind of profound to hear that. And literally, that's where we are. We're in this starvation mode due to a lack of these nutrients. And the vitamins that Royal Lee and those guys put together now are what's trying to support us. And you're rolling right into it. So go ahead.
So these are just some recommended foundational supplements. So a whole food multivitamin that's got, a bunch of vitamins and minerals that you're probably depleted of. Um, Diaplex, digestion and blood sugar handling, cod liver oil. I know this is Dr. Bacon's fave.
Yeah, one of the favorites. Yep, 100%.
Vitamin D, a turmeric for inflammation, B vitamins, because we're going to be depleted from B vitamins, some sort of thyroid support and hormone support, because with a lot of these toxins in the environment, they definitely affect our hormones.
Yeah, they definitely play a role, right? If you don't have those keys to unlock certain things, hormones are being stagnant. You don't really get the opportunity to really utilize the hormones that that are in your body. And that's another thing too. You've talked about a couple of things: the natural occurring vitamin A and D that's in cod liver oil. Thyrotain has a ton of good minerals and nutrients that support the body that mainly go for thyroid and adrenal. Your simplex M and F, they're endocrine supporting just thyroid, pituitary, adrenal, and then whatever sex gland, over ovarian support or testicular support. And then you have the turmeric, obviously, for more joint pain and inflammation, the vitamin and mineral, and the B stress. These things are things that they work together. It's a
Mhm.
great thing to pair those. And then, of course, blood sugar. I mean, why wouldn't Diaplex be one of the top products that we sell due to our problem with blood sugar in our society, right?
Yeah.
With stress.
And being able to like digest the things that we're eating.
Nutrients. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so summary: food has changed, soil has changed, toxins have increased, stress demands more nutrients. So therefore, supplementation is no longer optional; it's essential in the environment that we live in today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Carissa, this could have been like a 4-day seminar about how much this is so like there's so many things to dive down with this. That Senate document 100 years ago is like listening to Royal Lee talk about autoimmune before autoimmune was even discovered. It's just one of those things that you just kind of you almost have to step back and go, wow, are we moving in a direction that's toward health or away from health? And it's really hard to say we're moving toward health with the choices and the food products that we have, and them wanting you to start eating crickets versus eating meat. And I mean, just it's just so many things that are happening in our environment that are not moving in a good direction. So I want to say this is awesome. I have a couple of slides that I'd like to show
Let's
too.
do it.
Um, if I can figure out how to do that. Let me see if I can. Oh, so how do I do this again? So I go to share. Oh, here we go. Already got it. Share my screen. My screen. Okay. Am I sharing?
Yep.
Nice. And I'm going to go over just a couple things. Let me see. Am I all the way back? Oh, nope. There we go. Bingo. Now I'm on it. So I've got some other things here that we're going to talk about. I can move this. I just want to go over Weston A. Price. It's really a cool a group that's out there that is Weston A. Price is a dentist. Back in, you can see where he lived or when he lived. He did some studies back in the early 30s in Cleveland. It was in Cleveland, Ohio. He traveled to isolated parts of the world for over 10 years. And his goal was to discover like the factors of good dental health, right? He wanted to figure out what was happening. Nutritional deficiencies, not genetic defects, were causing these dental issues. Remember, there's 3 reasons that we get sick, is what the medical community will say. It's germs, genes, and then toxins. However, they don't talk a lot about toxins. Why? How do they treat them?
They treat us with
More toxins.
Yeah, they give you a drug. Here, you have a toxic this. Here, take this toxin and see how that works. Okay, so like he was trying to figure this stuff out. And remember, nutritional deficiencies lead to, like I said, 90% of most of the disease process anyway, and also due to stress response. So anyway, he did these studies. And so he checked these cultural diets, and he looked back at in Switzerland, South America. He did on the Polynesian Islands, all this kind of stuff. He was looking all over in New Zealand to try and figure out what was kind of where uh, uh, these teeth were beautiful, free of decay, good physique, resistance to disease. Like all these things were shown when these were people were eating their natural diets. And so what he found, that the traditional diets rich in fat soluble vitamins, essential in minerals, high quality animal foods. He identified the X factor, which was vitamin K, right? Which you get from, I'm going to turn this really quick, which is great also for dental and skeletal. But you get from where? Where do you get vitamin K? Vitamin K comes from like all of your fats, like your meats, your butters, dairy, things like that, right? Key focal was his fat soluble vitamins and minerals required during pregnancy and lactation. Now, here's what's neat too. Preconception. In these tribal communities, the people who were at that age that were going to actually look to have children, they started feeding them better early so that they would be able to pass on nutrients to their children to make sure that they were able to pass on, right, this community and grow their community. Pretty neat when you start to understand this. However, in our society, that's not really what's happening, right? Um, and when you think about it, right, healthy disparities explained just kind of goes over like the research really was showed when you ate the typical diet versus when you ate what we were eating, which is higher in sugar and created more deficiencies. Now let's see here. It goes in here too, right? So now I want to go in another study here. This is one too. I want to just get real quick to Pottinger's cats. You got to look this up. It's actually a really cool study. this guy, Francis Pottinger, was also a researcher. He went and took a look at cats, and he fed, like, he divided them up, fed half the cats raw, obviously, uh, displaced robust health, right, eating raw food, and then he gave pasteurized diets. They had a degenerative change across generations, and here's where this gets kind of scary. You start talking about these generational changes. His experiments compared the health of cats fed raw diets versus those pasteurized. I'll move past this real quick. Pottinger studies revealed deformities in cats fed pasteurized diets or processed food, really. Documented similar facial changes in humans. So he went and did this study with cats, found that these cats were kind of breaking down. And then he went and looked at some of these tribal communities. And he went through and looked at all this, the bone structure, their jaw lines, their teeth health. And he could see physical development and health was actually getting worse the further away from their natural diet they ate. So, so he just kind of goes over. I'll keep moving for a little bit forward fast because I know we've already hit our time. Generational declines, though. This is what's really interesting. Processed foods led to predictable health decline. Nutritional deficiencies. Obviously, we're getting that right now. Traditional diet promotes resiliency, so it made it stronger. Importance of nutritionally dense foods actually help them like long-term health and overall vitality. I want to see if I had it in here with this slide. Oh, I didn't have it in here. So it's okay. I'll show you another one. It's not in this one right now. So let me get out of this. And we'll quit sharing the screen here. Where's my other slide? Sorry. I want to share this with you really quick. So I'm going to scroll down here because I want to go over. Any questions about that stuff though right there?
I actually do have a question.
No.
When you say it affects generations, so like let's say my mom ate hot dogs when she was pregnant, but I eat really healthy, like will her behavior or choices affect then my children?
So here you go. And here he is. This is what he found in Pottinger in the cat study. He found first generation off of their normal diet, traditional diet, they started getting allergies and deformities. Okay. Second generation, your kids from mom, would then start getting glandular issues. These are hormonal issues. Then, as your kids had kids, then we would end up with, degenerative diseases. And then finally, as your kids, they're starting to then end up with infertility and problems.
Had Sam and Travis look up a pretty scary statistic.
Oh, what was that? Oh, you just did, or?
The other day. You guys remember what it was?
Yeah, it was like how many years until the human population won't be able to have children or something? Was it something like that?
Yeah, it was male sperm count by 2050, and it's 0. It's projected to be 0.
Guys, we're in a sort of fourth generation Pottinger's cat study that we're going through right now. Look at some of the facial deformities that he found. The cats eating pasteurized diets had narrow faces, crowded teeth, frail bones. Got it? And difficult pregnancies, obviously. And so this is where, now we're not cats, right? So here we're not, not that humans must eat raw foods, but a diet that's filled with more of the natural foods that we're eating versus all of the chemical toxins that we're getting. And Karissa pointed out, are we getting more chemical toxins than we normally get?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, to me, is where you start to step back and go, wow, hit the brakes. Don't pump them. Hit the brakes. Let's figure out what we're doing and how we correct this or right this scenario. So, Karissa, we threw a bunch at them today. Hopefully they can kind of process some of this stuff. But to me, it's really interesting when we start to really kind of look this through and understand really what's happening in our society and our environment. Number one thing is, you nailed it. We have to supplement where the diets are deficient. You got to. At some point, we can eat really well, but if you're not growing your own food or cultivating your own land or, killing your own cows and doing your own things, if you're not doing this on a regular basis, supplementation becomes a necessity, right? And so I love this. This is a great one, Chris, and looking forward to what you've got next week or in 2 weeks. Now, stepping away from this, we have Thanksgiving, so we have a lot of things to be grateful for. Let's just roll into that. Be grateful for our families. I'm grateful for my team. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys' help with everything you do. And I'm excited to see where we take this into the new year and what we're about to embark on. I'm really excited what this team's capable of and what we're looking forward to. So, Karissa, thank you. Sam, you drive safe. Go see your family. Make sure everybody does well there. Travis, you're here tomorrow.
I'm here tomorrow.
If you're not on the schedule yet for tomorrow, please do. Travis has got nothing really going on.
Yeah, nothing.
You might be able to squeeze 1 or 2 more people in there. Don't worry about it, Trav. We'll be good.
Yeah, I could be.
Karissa, have a great time with your family. Everybody, great. Thank you so much for all your support and everything we're doing. We are definitely grateful for you and to be able to help and serve and get you moving in a better direction. So, anything else you want to add there, Sam, or are we good?
Love traffic.
Love traffic. All right. That's straight from Sam. Very profound. Thank you, Sam. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys again. Have a great holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.